but it's actually a good tool. Like, if you got to remember how quick it travels that fast these days, and even some of the players go, shit, you know, and you'll blow a decision and they go, you sure, Dave? I'm going, no. and we have a bit of a chuckle, you know, and we used to have a terminology, like if we were going to go upstairs or they were paying, I'd say, like, they go, oh, you sure, Dave? And I'll go, yeah. I said, if you want me to go upstairs, you're paying. I said, because I'm not paying. You're paying for lunch. And they go, no, we don't want to waste our referral.
So
but
as an umpire, how many referrals do you get? You can refer as many times as you like?
Yep, only for certain situations.
Only for certain situations, yeah. I wasn't sure what the rules were around it.
For the awarding or non-awarding of a goal, what's the other two now? There's only three.
Anything leading to a PC.
Anything leading to a PC, and the other one, can't remember.
I don't know.
Yeah, I've got it in there. I'll have to have a look. But because it changed a few times because they were trying to tweak it a bit, so it might even changed again recently. I don't know. I haven't had a look.
Do you think that because players can now refer, they know the rules better?
No. No. It's amazing how the lack of knowledge of the rules that players have. It's quite funny actually when they come out and say stuff and I go, seriously. That's what.
Wrong question a lot.
Yeah.
They really do.
And
Australia asked the wrong question. They asked the wrong question.
yeah, and that's why you'll see some. So what's your question? What's your question? And you see this in the women's hockey a bit. What's your question? And sometimes it comes across a little bit. Oh, geez, that's a bit aggressive. You know, what's your question? But the thing is, they're only allowed one referral, and anyone can refer it, because when it first started, it was only the captain. I don't know if you've ever seen in India, it was at the World Cup, only the captain could refer it. So we had a penalty corner down this end. The captain was at the other end. He's going to want to refer it. The play's gone on from this circle down to that circle. They've scored down the other end, and he's going, no, I wanted to refer it. And it was just the biggest schmozzle, because then he'd been yelling and other people had said yes, he was yelling for the referral. So then eventually it went back to referral, no goal, and then when we've got another penalty corner down this end. Oh, it was just unbelievable, it really was. So what changed then was we said, okay, anyone can ask for the referral. So if someone, okay, I want to refer that, and they're right at you about it, what we used to do then is, okay, team referral. And players would be yelling at them, you shut up, we don't want to refer that. So what it was then is, okay, they go, oh, we want to refer that. And I would go, you sure? And some of them will yell out, no, Dave, we don't want to refer that. So some of the other guys will overrule us. I said, do you want it referred or not? No, we want to leave it. So then we go on. And that's sort of the respect and you know, just working on the relationship there. But if you get it wrong, so be it, doesn't matter. Happens so fast sometimes, you know.
Because when I was at the World Cup last year, it was evident, it's quite clear to see which teams were good at referring as opposed to teams that were not so good.
Yeah.
Because some teams would lose it every match in the first 10 minutes, whereas some would hold on to it all game and refer 6-7 times in a game.
Yeah.
So it was really interesting just to sort of watch that.
That's why if you've got some guys that have got a bit of knowledge about it, when they can refer it, they'll, even though sometimes they'll lose it, just depends on what happens with the actual outcome. Because if it gets turned over, then they keep their referral, so they don't lose it.
Because our girls were not too bad at it. Like they used it effectively last
year.
Some
countries do, some don't. But I think it's good for the game. The big thing we were pushing, and it was happening for a while. I don't know if it's changed. I didn't sort of pay much attention last major tournament. But what we were saying to the TV crews, and that was, especially for the video umpire, like we'd have 9 screens to have a look at, and until we make a decision, don't play anything on the big screen in slow motion. Just play everything in game speed. And this is what I think rugby league and that should do, because all it does is irate the fans. Like you watch the fans, oh, that's crap, bro. Where if you kept playing the game speed, that referee or that umpire only had match speed to make that decision. So just keep playing it in match speed, so the crowd don't get any advantage to start carrying on as well. But then when the video umpire says, okay, I've made the decision, this is the decision, screen 6. So you go, put screen 6 up on the big board, show it in slow motion replay. The decision is this. There's your video evidence. That's all you need to do. Like all these angles that they're showing all the crowds, all it does is get people upset. That's my personal opinion, but I think it worked.
As someone who does a lot of filming and I video here a fair bit with my cameras as well, I have to agree. It's ridiculous that we slow things down. That's not how it happened.
Yeah, exactly.
We should play it exactly as it was seen on the field.
Yeah.
Granted, if the umpires have missed it and there is a legitimate call at regular speed, fine. That's a ridiculously appropriate time for us to do that.
Yeah.
But the slow-mo thing, regardless of what sport, I think is stupid.
Yeah, and it does it. It just irates our fans. It really does. And yeah, obviously it's this that takes over, and that's in a lot of situations.
I haven't seen cricket all the time. With all their technology, they have the hotspot and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Rugby league, they've got a review on the review system, haven't they? Pretty time.
Yeah. So they should. They've been having a bit of a shocker this year. Yeah. All right. Okay. Who else? Come on, you two boys. Don't be shy. He's been doing much umpiring?
Yeah, I've been doing it enough, yeah.
Sorry?
I've been doing enough umpiring.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Brendan does maybe 5 games a weekend.
5 games? Geez, you'll be cashed up.
Yeah.
Gotta come to you for a loan, mate.
Yeah.
You guys so much.
Yeah. So you enjoying it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Great fun.
Ah, very good. That's the key to it, enjoying it as well. So have you got any situations or anything that you want to know how you could handle better, or?
No, I've been doing pretty well, so
Okay.
haven't really had too much complications to games, so
Oh, that's good.
We'll get you out on first grade soon then, yeah?
yeah, that
First
sounds
grade,
great.
mate, yeah?
Sounds great, yeah.
Yeah, but you say that, otherwise you have enough what's doing anything.
Just send them straight off, mate, if they argue. Just get rid of them if they argue. Don't put up with it. Come on, you must have something. You're very quiet.
I struggle with positioning in the circle area, especially in my attacking circle. I sort of don't know how to work on that.
Yep. The thing is, you've got to be moving all the time.
Yeah.
Yep. And what I found, especially since offside went, that's scary, isn't it? Since offside went.
I don't even know if they
Yeah, exactly. That's why I threw it at you. Ask Joe, who used to roll the ball in. Yeah. So what you'll find is it becomes very congested
Yeah.
up near the 7,
Yeah.
you know, the penalty spot. And what you'll find, and what I used to do, I used to actually work backwards.
To the baseline or the
No,
sideline?
to the top of the circle.
Okay.
To the top of the circle. What I was saying to people last night, you need to be in the best position
Yeah.
to make the best decision. So you need to move, like you see people stand there and they're trying to look. You need to move. You need to move, and it doesn't matter which way, you need to move so you can see. And that's the key to it. You need not be fixed, you need to move all the time. And what you'll find, the more you move, you'll find some spots you get in and you go, oh, geez, how good's that? But you need to move.
Yeah.
And it's not always heading towards the back line. You might have to go back. Like, I've had that many people before. I've been up near the top of the circle and amongst them.
Yeah.
But, you know, you've just got to be in the best position that you can, because that's the key area for you.
Yeah.
So you just need to find it, and all individuals are different. Depends on your height, you know. But what you find is try and move around a bit, and you'll find it a lot easier. Yeah, and it's not always going towards the back line is the best place. Yeah, because sometimes there's too many of them around, It just makes it harder.
It's like you can't see through 7 people.
Yeah, that's right.
You can't see through the
Yeah.
goal.
And quite often it's about getting out of your comfort zone and going somewhere where you don't think you should go, but you'll find that that's where you can see. And that's where, when you're down the grades a little bit before we get you up, you need to work on that positioning where it's a bit slower
Yeah.
to play with some positions. It's going to be different every game.
Yeah.
All the teams play different style of
different
hockey.
style.
But you do need to get yourself out of your comfort zone just to try those other positions because you might find you can see.
And that's every game. Like, I couldn't stand in the same position every game because different teams have different tactics, different players stand in different positions. Sometimes they'll deliberately get in position so they can run you over. So you got to move. You just got to be aware that it's happening and you try and find the best spot. Yeah.
Can you just talk us through, in terms of player management and managing the game for you, in terms of talking to the players? So we've got some junior umpires here, just how important it is to talk to the players, whether it's constantly or, I'm particularly thinking of calling them when the players aren't 5, when they're within the 5. I see it quite a lot where, you know, umpires then penalise them for being within the 5 and they turn around and go, well, you didn't tell me. So what's the, you know, whose role is it to be 5? What's your job in terms of calling them and what's the balance?
And I think at their level, I think it's really important that you let the players know what's happening. Like if you just say stay out, you're good to go, or you're not 5, or you're okay now. You need to work what works for you. Like I can tell you what to say, but it mightn't be comfortable with you. But if you help them along, they've got no comeback. It was a bit like what I was talking about last night. But when you get up into the higher levels, what I'll say to people then, well, how long have you been playing hockey? What, you don't know how far 5 is? You're playing first grade hockey, you don't know how far 5 is? Sorry.
So you couldn't umpire a game without talking to the players?
No.
Yeah.
You've got to. And you've got to have that relationship. And the thing is, what I was saying before is, and it's how you talk to them as well. Like, if you're not happy with something and you want to really let them know and you want to have a stern word, by all means do so. But when you're trying to take control of a situation, you need to handle that, you know, professionally and also respectfully, because then they respect you for it because you've treated them like another person, not talk down to them. Because all you do when you're talking down to someone, well, everyone knows it, that you don't really like that person at that stage. You've lost all respect you've had for them at that current point. You might get over it afterwards, but while someone's talking down to you, you just go, I don't really like you anymore, you know. And you've got to have that balance. If you're not happy with someone and you want to deal with the situation, you've got to work out how to handle that appropriately. And abusing someone or yelling at someone is not going to solve that. I use my whistle a lot because very loud whistle, they go no, straight away they go, whew, geez, he's not happy with that. Where if you umpire and you blow the same whistle tone all the time, the players go, oh, okay, even though it was a bad stick check, and you've blown exactly the same whistle as a normal free hit, they go, oh, we got away with that. Where if you change, and that's why you've got to vary the tones, and especially like if you're not happy with someone, you know, you let them know. Because like, I haven't been a real big talker because of non-English speaking countries, right? And it was mainly signals and whistle tone. And if you eyeball someone and you just glare at them and they know that you're not happy with that, that's just as good as talking to them. But I do talk. Yeah, and it's a key to it. I think you've got to build that rapport with the players, and until you earn their respect, you're always going to struggle. And there's some players that you could try and do the best you can to try and solve situations, and they're not even going to have a bar of it. They'll just think that, no, you can't talk to me like that, and that's when you have the confrontation when it becomes a bit ugly sometimes, and then you've got cards. But the thing is, when that starts, like I was talking about last night, if you're not happy with someone and someone's continually giving you a bit of lip, I wouldn't even talk to that person. Just get the captain over and you just say to him, okay, number 7 has had 3 really good sprays at me, right? It's not acceptable. I will not put up with it anymore. You deal with that player now. You tell number 7 that enough is enough. You can sub him if you like, I don't care. But if he has another go at me, you are going to be 1 short. Then when you get rid of that person, the captain can't come to you, or no one in that team can come to you and say, oh, you didn't let us know, you didn't warn us. It's all, you've been through that path. Right, this is from a consistency point of view. At different levels, it's totally different. But at our hockey, I think we've got to be smart about it. And the thing is,
through the captain is the person.
if you've got an individual that you've already spoke to on 2 occasions, and they're going to, and they're not even like, they want to argue straight back, and they're not going to listen. You know that, so don't even deal with them. Don't even have that conversation with them, because the conversation is not going to go anywhere, right? It's only going to become heated, and you're not going to feel the best, and normally they'll think they've won.
What if the player is the captain?
Straight out. That is not acceptable. You're the captain, you're out.
Okay.
Yeah. You're in charge of the team. That behaviour.
That person is actually the worst.
Yeah.
Thinking innocent, yeah.
And that's it. And as first up, if you don't want to get rid of them first up, right, pull them out. Pull them right out to the side, right, away from everyone else, and have the conversation. Sorry, you are the captain of this team, and bring the level down, right? You're the captain of this team, right? I need you to be in control of this team. At the moment, your behaviour is not acceptable, right? And what it's doing is actually irating your players. You are in control, you need to be in control, and if you don't change the way you are behaving at the moment, you are not going to be here, I'm sorry. Right, you are going to be on the sideline, your choice. And if they don't want to listen and they don't want to behave, just get them out. Yeah, just get them out. And if anyone wants to argue with them, they can go with them. Because we're not there to put up with their abuse. We're there to umpire a game of hockey to the best of our ability, and they've got no right to abuse us or carry on because we're doing that. And that's the key to it.
I'm probably asking the bleeding obvious here to pick up on that. I mean, one of the things I've noticed locally is that the umpires tend to be also receiving abuse from the sideline, the coaches and supporters. But I'm thinking specifically of the coaches.
Yep.
Would you be calling the captain over and say, go and talk to your manager or coach? And if I keep hearing he's saying one of you will go off, is that
Exactly. And this is what this is what I feel we don't do. When we haven't got technical bench people, like sometimes even when we have technical bench people, they're not dealing with the misconduct from the team bench. And the team captain is in charge of that team bench as well. And if that conduct from that bench becomes unacceptable, right, especially if it becomes personal and unacceptable, grab the captain and say, you've got 10 seconds, you go over and sort that bench out. The behaviour that is coming from your bench is no longer acceptable. It is unacceptable. You please tell them to be quiet, or you are going off. I will send you off. And that's it. That's why the captain was become so important and was given that role, that he's in charge of his whole team, and that includes the technical bench, or their bench.
And I think you find too that once you've done that, it just stops straight away, generally. I mean, well, I had a situation last week where a couple of guys, no matter what I did, it wasn't going to be right. I just called the captain over, told him, and there was nothing for the rest of the game. You know, and this was 15 minutes into a game, so it was pretty consistent very early.
Yeah.
Just that word, and there was not a peep out of these other 2 guys for the rest of the game.
And the thing is,
and it turned into a great game of hockey.
Yeah, and when you go through that situation and you deal with the captain, right, everyone knows that you've brought the captain out and that you're not happy with the behaviour, and now the onus is on him.
Right.
And his mates aren't that silly, or his, the other ladies aren't that silly. They know that if the behaviour carries on, they're going to be short.
In training at Tuesday might be a bit hard if the captain got sent off because of something really.
Yeah, and there's also on the other side of things, if they're just carrying on and it's straight, unacceptable right from the word go, and it's not acceptable, I have no hesitation. Just